Good photography is unpretentious. Walker Evans. In this episode, Tessa and I are going to test this Nikon Nikkor-P 105mm f2.5 lens. We will also give it a CLV score at the end, so please keep watching for that. But let's start by looking at its features and handling. The lens was produced in various versions for a very long time. It was introduced in 1959, although this particular model is probably from the mid-60s. Later versions have 5 elements in 4 groups, whereas this one has only 3. The aperture closes down to f22 and clicks at every full stop. There's also a click at f2.8. Early versions of this lens had 9 aperture blades, but unfortunately this one only has 6. The minimum focus distance is 1.2 meters, the filter diameter is 52 millimeters, and it weighs 375 grams. The focus ring turns a nice 190 degrees, but it feels a little too easy to turn for my liking, although this could be a result of its age. And since it's a Nikon lens, it also turns in the wrong direction. We will be testing the lens on a Sony A7III and this Fuji GFX50S. On the Fuji, it's equivalent to a full-frame lens with a focal length of 83mm and a maximum aperture of f2. Our first test is having a look at distortion and vignetting on this Adobe camera calibration chart. There's a very tiny bit of pincushion distortion, but it doesn't really matter. Vignetting wide open is noticeable, but almost gone by f4. Both distortion and vignetting can be corrected in your editing software, of course, but you could also use the lens profiles I offer for download on my Patreon page. The link is in the description. Lateral chromatic aberration is quite strong wide open, but can easily be corrected in software. Longitudinal chromatic aberration is also on the stronger side, only at f8 it's almost gone. We see a very good performance when it comes to color fringing, also called purple fringing. Wide open there's a faint blue visible on contrasting edges, which becomes a thin red line on stopping down to f4, but it's nothing to be worried about. Mounting the lens on a GFX camera also yields good results, with only slightly dark corners visible. Now let's have a look at sharpness at infinity on the A7. It's already very good in the middle at 2.5. Stopping down only results in minimal improvements. At f22 the image gets a little soft due to diffraction. Thankfully the midzone looks quite similar, only wide open sharpness is a bit reduced. When it comes to the corner, there's a noticeable drop in sharpness wide open and at f4, but a very good result is still achieved at f5.6. Now this is sharpness at minimum focus distance. Wide open and at f22 the image is a little soft in the middle, while all other apertures look very good. However, the corners are significantly worse, and good sharpness is only achieved at f11 and f16. Here we see Tessa at a typical portrait distance. Given the performance of the lens, she could look a little friendlier, but she's a true professional. The same can be said about Mr. Adenauer, even though he seems to be a bit more cheerful. The bokeh wide open is beautiful and creamy. Unfortunately, when stopping down, the hexagonal shape of the 6-bladed aperture is clearly visible. Lastly, this is coma in sunstars. There's hardly any coma visible, which is very nice to see. And sunstars appear at f4 already and look nice and sharp. To give you an impression of how this lens performs in practice, here are some examples I shot with it on the GFX and the A7. Please enjoy. And now for the CLV score. For handling and features, it's a 6. For aberrations, a 7. For sharpness, we still give it an 8, even though it didn't do so well in the minimum focus distance test. The beautiful bokeh deserves an 8, and the nice sunstars a 7. This lens is available second-hand for around 150 euros, which makes it very good value for money. 44 out of 60 points, which puts it on par with the current first place, the Minolta MD 85mm f2. Congratulations! Thanks for watching everyone, and please consider liking and subscribing.